Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Corey with The Abundant Artist, and today is day 5 of our 10-year celebration of The Abundant Artist existing. If you are new to these videos and you're catching my broadcast for the first time, The Abundant Artist has been around helping artists learn how to sell their art on the internet for over 10 years. Well, I guess it'd be like exactly 10 years this month. And I'm sharing my top 5 takeaways from 10 years of coaching artists. Today, I want to talk about the fact that you need to know how to tell a good story. As humans, our brains are wired for stories. It's how we communicate. It's how we tell each other what's dangerous. It's how we tell each other what's pleasant. It's how we tell each other what's good to eat. It's everything. Good morning to everybody who's jumping on now. Hello, Kay. Hello, Trupti. It's good to see all of you over on Facebook and on Crowdcast. Thank you so much for joining us. So in order to tell your story, there's some exploration needed. You need to know a little bit about why you make the art that you make, what drives you to create art. If you've always been an artist, why do you continue doing it? Why do you make the artistic choices that you make? Are you making a political statement? Are you simply working intuitively? How can you tease a good story out of that? And that's one of the things that we talk about a lot in the Abundant Artists classes. I'm not going to talk too much about that today. This is not a sales pitch, but it's one of the things we talk about a lot is, how do you draw out of yourself the reasons that you're making the art that you're making? So I encourage artists to journal, to talk to their friends about their work, have their friends interview them. Those are all really good ways to start to understand your own story a little bit better. Give artist talks. I'm going to a talk tonight with Portland Open Studios. An artist that I like a lot is going to be giving a 5-minute talk. I'm excited to see what she talks about and what she does. And then the other thing that is important for artists as you're getting ready to articulate your story is understanding who it is that's going to collect your work. A couple days ago, I talked about the 5 different business models that work for each artist. Your ideal collector is going to be different for each business model. And then even within those business models, you can get even more narrow, right? Certain types of people like to collect certain types of work. So understanding who those people are, how you can speak to them, and where you can find them to speak to them, super important. And just sort of off the top of my head, as I'm thinking about this, some places you can look. So let's say your ideal collector is somebody who lives near the ocean, wants to collect ocean scenes. Then you probably want to be looking for tourist magazines and tourist websites that focus on those areas. You want to look for people who live in those areas, do gallery shows in those areas. Yeah. Trupti over on Instagram says, I think that the biggest thing that's worked for me is building a community. Yeah. Building a community is really important. Having a community around you, not just of other artists, but also building a community around a cause, building a community around an idea. All of those things can be really powerful for artists as well. So definitely go do that. What can you do today? My call to action to you is, what can you do today to go find people that you can share your story with? And how can you make sure that you're sharing your story regularly? Whether that's daily or weekly. A lot of artists will go into a cave and hide, go into a studio and hide for a while. And that's okay. You can do that for a while if you've really got to concentrate on getting some work done. But don't let that turn into going, more than a month without connecting with your community, and telling your story. So I want to wrap up here today on this 5th day by saying next week we're going to start opening enrollment for How to Sell Your Art Online 101, which is our basic training program that we've had thousands of artists come through. It's the basis for all the things that we've talked about this week, about the 50-50 rule, about showing up and communicating, about having the knowledge and belief in yourself that you can sell your work, understanding that you do need to work to sell your work, that it's not just going to sell itself out of your studio. So all of those things will be available to you in How to Sell Your Art Online 101. So I appreciate all of you showing up here. If you're on our mailing list, you'll get notification about How to Sell Your Art Online 101 next week. But thank you so much for taking the time to join us and for letting me share some of my thoughts with you. So thanks so much, everybody.